very warm welcome to Bharata First. You're watching UPSC Corner. I'm frankrausanpereira. Pereira. Since you're here, please like the video, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and share the video as well so that more people get to know about Bharata First. Do subscribe to our newsletter to get some incisive content. The Bharata First team runs several quizzes. You can participate in them and improve your knowledge. If you like our content, please contribute to keep it alive. A small contribution that you make will be a giant leap for us to keep bringing you this content. Let me also take this opportunity to inform you about Bharata First Knowledge Center. It's an initiative that will help each one of you in your competitive exams and transform the way you learn. Go to kc.bharatafirst.com for more details. Experience a whole new way of gaining knowledge. Hundreds are already reaping the benefits of the Knowledge Center. Don't be left behind. Don't miss out. Register right now, as there's so much more that we have to offer. All this information along with some must-see recommendations are in the description of the video. Please go through it. Well, it's time to begin this special edition of UPSC Corner Toppers Talk episode 2. In the first episode, we took a look at the journey of 3 young adults who cleared the UPSC CSE 2020. Continuing our series, today we will meet 2 more such toppers who have cracked one of the most sought after exams in the country. It is a pleasure to welcome on Bharata First, Apala Mishra, UPSC CSE 2020 All India rank 9, and Rahul L. Nair, UPSC CSE 2020 All India rank 154. Thank you to the both of you for being here and welcome to Bharata First. Let me start with Apala. Apala, welcome. And what does it feel like clearing the exam and finishing in the top 10?
So firstly, thank you so much for having me here. And I think as for the feeling part, it is still being processed. The major feeling that I have is a feeling of relief that I will not be having to write this exam again. And the long journey finally comes to an end and I can move forward finally. So I think it is a big relief.
So the first reaction is more of relief and anything else at the moment. I'll just come back to you, Apala. In the meantime, Rahul,
yes.
Is it a sense of relief? Because Apala believes and is certain that she doesn't have to write this exam again. And I'm also certain that she doesn't have to write this exam again. But what about you? Do you want to improve your rank? Do you want to go that extra mile? What was the feeling like when you saw your name on the list?
So first of all, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for inviting me, sir, because it has always been one of my dreams to speak with you, and you made it come true. And as for the feeling, sir, it is definitely, as ma'am told, it's definitely a feeling of great relief that finally your name could figure in that PDF. So it's definitely a feeling of great relief, sir. But as far as I am concerned, I think that yes, I can improve much more on whatever my present position is. So I think, yes, sir, I still have some distance to go maybe in my journey.
And you should go for it, because only
Definitely.
then dreams will come true. And
Definitely,
you're not doing anything wrong. It's not like, you're doing something that is illegal or not right, or something that is being done under the table. It's your genuine right. It is provided for. It is written on paper. So why not? Go for it. Others have done it in the past and have always bettered their rank. And there is nothing wrong if you go ahead and do it. And I wish you the very best. And I'm sure that you too will finish in the top 25 or top 20.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
So Apala, what was the sense at home when you saw your list, and did you expect to be in the top 10?
Sir, my exams had gone good. So I was slightly hoping to find my name in the list. But finding my name in the top 10 was something that was not expected. And while my parents were pretty hopeful of me, and my mother had actually stuck a poster in my room which wrote that you are within 50, and it had a picture of me. So she was continuously pointing to that look at this and you will get through. But I was very anxious. So finally, when the result came, I felt very happy, and my parents were also very happy. And then everyone started getting very busy. So I think it was a nice day.
Wonderful. Good to hear that. And, I'm glad that, you spoke about this top 50 post-it that your mother had put in your room, reiterating and reinforcing that thought.
Yes, sir.
Not just that, but also telling the universe, because there are energies that we cannot comprehend and that this body can't comprehend, that are out there, that are always at work and that are always working in the subconscious and in a different realm and in another reality as well, where we can't understand that. So it is always good to let the universe know what you want and reinforce that too, isn't it?
Yes, sir, definitely, sir. And sir, it also reinforces a certain amount of self-confidence, which
Positivity.
in this long journey, we somehow lose that confidence in ourselves. So that is also very much required.
And talking about the long journey, along the way, did you at some point ever feel that, maybe this is too much? What kept you going? What made you go that extra mile? How did you push yourself?
Sir, talking about myself, I think my journey has been particularly long because this was my third attempt. And in my first two attempts, I was not able to clear the prelims itself, which is the first stage of this exam. So there were a lot of low phases and there was a lot of self-doubt involved. But I think having a belief in your dreams and in your goals and having a belief in your preparation, that if you are working hard, then you will get through one day or the other. Because success is just delayed, not denied. So having that belief in yourself, I think, keeps you going, and having a clear why, that this is the only thing that you want to achieve in life. I think that is very important. Clarity is important, so for that.
What was different, with regards to your previous attempts and this attempt? Was it the mind frame? Was it the preparation, or what was it?
Sir, I think as for my first attempt, sir, I just nosedived into the preparation without knowing anything about UPSC. I come from a medical background, which is very different from what the demands of the UPSC exams are. So I picked up the books and I had heard somewhere that you can clear this exam in 3 months. So I studied for 3 months, but I could not clear this exam. So, sir, I think understanding the exam is very important before starting to study, or studying the exam before studying for the exam is very important. Unless you have that hang of the exam and what are the demands of the exam and what are your own strengths, which areas you need to focus on and which areas you need to work harder on. I think that was different this time. This time I understood the preparation better and I had a plan in mind. I had a framework in mind. So a strategy is very necessary.
Good. We'll come to that strategy in just a bit. We'll talk about what was your strategy like and what you did. Did you follow a regimen or not? But let me go across now once again to Rahul. Rahul, what was your journey like? Were there ups and downs? Who was your biggest strength along the journey? And what is it that kept you going?
Sir, in fact, my journey has been longer than ma'am's. So this is my fourth attempt, and in my first attempt, I couldn't clear prelims, and in my second and third, I couldn't clear mains. So my journey was particularly long. So and in this journey of mine, my parents, my mother, especially my mother, my sister, and so for the last 1.5 years, my fiance. So they played a major role. And whenever I was in self-doubt and whenever I thought, okay, this exam is not, means I am not good enough for this exam and I might as well focus on the job at hand and move ahead, they consistently push me, sir. They gave me that confidence, that belief that no, you can, that this is possible and you have started on this journey, so don't look back.
So when you were low, there
Yes.
was always someone to push you up and to ensure that you could pick up the pieces and move on. Now, since
Yes,
we're
sir.
talking about low points,
Yes,
did
sir.
you at any point during the journey feel like, quitting and saying, you know what, I've had enough. This is it. I'm already working. I'm going to walk away now. Did you ever go through that?
Sir, I cannot deny that such thoughts didn't occur to me. So definitely there were very low points where I thought that that I'm sailing on too many boats at the same time. So I'm trying to perform better in my work and I'm trying to study for this exam. Maybe I'm not able to do justice to everything at hand. So there were such thoughts But sir, everything there was, because I'm basically an engineer by degree, sir. So I completely changed my career path for the sake of the civil services exams. So I always said to myself that you have taken such big decisions for the sake of this exam. So it is not right that you give it up and then just go back into your comfort zone. So that thought always kept pushing me. So, and with such support around me, my support system was very good, sir. Like without them, maybe I would have definitely given up. My mother, my sister, and my sister was my biggest inspiration, sir. So so one of my drawbacks is that I cannot sit for long hours for study. So what I used to do, I used to call her, I used to keep her on the call, and then both of us used to study. So she will motivate me to study longer, and then I used to speak out loud and study. So my sister was the one who was consistently pushing me there, and this attempt, she played a major role. So
Wonderful, good to hear that. And since you're talking about attempts, what was different from the attempts that you failed and the attempts that you cleared?
Yes, sir, I think this time, I think one of the major factor was at the back of my mind. I knew that I had a job at hand, so I was not going with a pressured mindset. I knew that yes, I can go, I'll give my best, but even if I don't clear, I have a job in my hand. So that freed up my mind, sir. I didn't consistently worry about my low scores, or am I doing the correct thing. I focused on the task at hand, at incrementally improving day by day, and thanks to God, sir, that worked out at the end. So.
Wonderful, I'm glad. And since we are here, I'm going to take a little bit of credit as well, because before the show began, we were talking about my role in, in trying and being some kind of contributing in some way or the other. So Apala, so I'm going to take credit from you, and I'm going to take credit from Rahul as well.
Definitely, sir.
Definitely, sir.
Credit is completely due to you, sir.
Not completely, but yes, I'm going to take some credit for it too. So, Apala, coming back to you now. So, since the prelims are around the corner, and the entire aspirant community seems to be focused on the prelims and trying to crack the prelims, since you have cleared it, what was your strategy like? How did you go about cracking the prelims?
Sir, as for prelims, I'd say that it was my weakest area in this examination and my biggest roadblock, because I could not clear the prelims twice. So I think for prelims, what is required is a lot of practice of MCQs. Once we start practicing, we get the knack of the MCQs and how to handle different questions. And we also can understand the range which is suiting us. What kind of questions are we making incorrect, and what kind of mistakes are we making? So I think thorough practice is one thing that is very much required. And along with that, revision of the basic books, not going to the market and getting overwhelmed by the information overload there, but sticking to your basic books and revising them again and again, because there are very small points in those books that we actually miss in the first or second reading. So I think continuous revision and practice are the key for prelims.
Great, wonderful. And Rahul, what was your prelim strategy like? What did you do differently? You cleared it thrice, you said, isn't it? Twice before and once now.
Yes,
yeah.
Sir.
So how did you go about tackling the prelims? Man
Sir,
with experience will tell us.
Sir, I would, whatever Apala ma'am has said, that is definitely, I would completely agree with that. And sir, in addition, what I used to do was, so instead of consistently revising the same notes, so out of the notes, I used to make some small questions. And so instead of reading the notes, I converted the notes into a question answer format. So I'll keep the answer hidden. So then I'll try to see the question, and then I'll try to recollect. So in this manner, so instead of same monotonous reading of the notes, within a few readings, that the information got better absorbed. So this has been something that I've been doing since my second attempt. So I think that was something that worked for me.
Wonderful. And what about the mains? Did you did you follow any patterns? Did you have any set regimen as far as the mains are concerned? Any particular books, anything that you would like to share with us?
Sir, in fact, mains was always my biggest weak area. Sir. So I couldn't. My answer writing was, in fact, very poor. Like when I still remember my first answer, there was no head or tail. It was something was just completely just information written. So slowly I started and improving upon myself. And this attempt, sir, there were a few seniors who guided me, and I focus more on maintaining a consistent flow throughout the answer. So my answer was not just dumping of facts or information. I tried to first address give a brief context to the question, and then bring out the various facets, and then end it on a positive note. So this flow I tried to maintain, and this I tried to practice in my mock tests, whichever I have given. So I think this was something which worked out for me this time.
Wonderful. Good. I think that's the perfect strategy to have, really, as far as mains or those long essay kind of answers are concerned. You need to give it a good start and a finish, and there has to be a flow and some kind of connection in the body as well, so that there has to be some kind of set pattern to be followed, and not just to please the invigilator, but add a little bit of yourself into it too. Correct. So that it is different from somebody else's answer. Correct. And no one can know better than the invigilator. That's why the person is the invigilator. So you need to impress and express in the right way to ensure you get the right kind of marks. Apala, what about your mains strategy, regimen, or any kind of a flow that you followed with regards to preparation? Some people like to prepare for 8 hours in a day, and then maybe read a book or watch a television series or something like that, or maybe go out and play as well. There are those who get onto their video games too. So what was your preparation journey like with regards to mains?
Sir, as I said, prelims was my weak area, but mains was something that I liked, the part I liked in this exam, because I as such like writing. So I think I focused on those areas which could fetch me more marks. For example, essay and ethics were 2 areas where I practiced a lot and got subsequent results also. As for GS, sir, I maintained 4 separate notebooks for GS, 1, 2, 3, and 4, sir. And in those notebooks, I would note down the important things which can be added into the answer, which could make it better than others' answers, or which could add value to those answers. For example, any Supreme Court judgment, or any good line which I heard in Bharata First debates, or any example that I came across. So I would note it down on the relevant subjects notebook, and then I would try to use it in my answers. So I think that improved my answers a lot, especially the introduction and conclusion part. It gives a certain kind of edge to the answer, adding some good examples of facts there. So I think that was one thing that I did additional to what Rahul sir has said.
Wonderful, wonderful. And as far as mains are concerned, one of the biggest challenges people talk about and are worried about is the time factor. How did you manage your time, Apala? Did you think that was a challenge at all?
Sir, time is always a challenge for, I think, everyone. And I think the only thing that I was concerned before the mains exam was completing the paper on time. That was my only target. I think I was so hard pressed on completing the paper on time that I actually ended up finishing the paper, I think, 5 minutes early. And so I think time factor played well for me. And there's also one thing that I'd like to add here. I saw it in someone's video, I think, that you can keep your watch 5 minutes early. So you can actually end up finishing the paper 5 minutes earlier, because your watch, you will go according to your watch. So I did that as well.
But if your mind gets tuned to that, then it won't matter, because I have my watch 4 minutes ahead, and somehow I know, and my mind knows that it's 4 minutes ahead. So it doesn't matter beyond the point. Maybe you should do it in the nth hour or right at the end, so that you don't fool your mind as well. So that is a good strategy that we could possibly employ. Wonderful. So Rahul, as far as what's close to your heart with regards to things that you would like to do going forward? What would that be? How would you like to serve the public? Because you're getting into the civil service. We all know what the issues are. We all have faced them in our lives. We all know where these issues stem from. So what is that one issue that is closest to your heart?
So first of all, I'll be more than happy to work in whichever capacity the government sees me fit. So, but one thing which is especially, in fact, there are two things, sir. So the first would be, sir, I would want to, if given a chance, focus on women entrepreneurships, because I think that is one area which can solve many problems at one go. It will not only help in our economic development, but will help in harnessing our demographic dividend and also addressing different social evils. So women entrepreneurship at the micro level is something that I would want to focus on, sir. And second, I would want to use my engineering knowledge in dealing with the growing recurring disasters. So we all know, sir, that we need to focus on disaster resilient infrastructure. And I think I can use my engineering knowledge in some manner to ensure that people's lives are not turned completely upside down every year whenever a disaster strikes. So I think these.
I think those are two very noble thoughts and areas where we indeed need special attention. Normally, when it comes to women, we talk about women empowerment,
Yes.
not really through the scope of entrepreneurship and taking it forward that way. So it's a good thought. And also disasters, especially with climate change, with environmental changes that are happening time and time out, or especially over the last 4 or 5 years, we've seen the disasters have been quite a few, and the entire country has been reeling, the entire world is suffering. So it's good to have a focus on that as well. And what about you, Apala? What would be your focus areas? What is it that is close to your heart?
So since I come from a health background, I think health is an area where I'd like to focus on especially. And especially after the COVID-19 pandemic, we've seen that how important health is, and it can no longer be left away from the narrative. And so especially in health, I'd like to focus on women's health, because women's health, I feel, is an area which is a little neglected when it comes to policy making or implementation, I believe. And in women's health, I think areas like institutional deliveries and menstrual hygiene, these are the areas which can directly impact women, which can later impact the family and the entire country at large. So I think these are the two most important and the closest areas to my heart.
Wonderful. And before I let the both of you go, let's hear your thoughts on any words of advice that you would like to give young candidates and aspirants who would like to follow in your footsteps. What would you like to say to them, starting first with you, Apala?
Sir, I'd like to say that one thing that we don't talk about when we start talking about the UPSC preparation is the mental health aspect of any exam and the amount of toll it takes on your mental health. So I'll advise the aspirants to always remain composed, address your low points, and the low phases will not be forever. Have self-confidence in yourself. Don't let self-doubt take the better of you. And gradually success will come to you, but just keep going and don't lose hope. That is all I'll say.
Wonderful, wonderful message. And Rahul, concluding remarks from you for anyone who would like to follow in your footsteps.
Sir, want to tell us that everyone starts this journey with the intention that they will succeed, and across the one as they progress on their journey, the motivation level starts dipping due to many reasons. But keeping at it slowly by chipping the block one day at a time, if they remain true to the day which they took the decision to start this UPSC preparation, I'm sure everyone will succeed one day or the other.
Wonderful, wonderful, good. And since we like positivity, we'll end on a positive note. Rahul, expecting a wedding invitation.
Yes,
You
sir.
mentioned your fiance, so expecting a wedding invitation whenever wedding bells ring. And Apala,
Definitely.
a box of
Definitely.
sweets from you. A small one also is good enough, and we'll look forward to it as well, and look forward to meeting you in person sometime in the near future. Apala and Rahul, thank you so very much for being here and sharing your journey with me and through Bharata First to the rest of the country and all those people who are looking to follow in your footsteps. A real pleasure having you both on the program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you
sir.
so much. Thank you so much.
Before I go, once again, let me remind you to like the video, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and share the video as well so that more people get to know about Bharata First. Do subscribe to our newsletter to get some incisive content. The Bharata First team runs several quizzes. You can participate in them and improve your knowledge. If you like our content, please contribute to keep it alive. A small contribution that you make will be a giant leap for us to keep bringing you this content. Let me also take this opportunity to inform you about Bharata First Knowledge Center. It's an initiative that will help each one of you in your competitive exams and transform the way you learn. Go to kc.bharatafirst.com for more details. Experience a whole new way of gaining knowledge. Hundreds are already reaping the benefits of the Knowledge Center. Don't be left behind. Register right now. Don't miss out. There's so much more that we have to offer at the Knowledge Center. All this information, along with some must-see recommendations, are in the description of the video. Please go through it. That's it from me. See you again next time.